Hello everyone, I'm Dan Stapleton, this is Brendan Graber.
How you doing?
I'm in shock, how about you?
My heart's beating pretty fast right now.
Yeah, so we just had Warner and Rocksteady take a pretty unprecedented move in pulling the PC version of Batman Arkham Knight off of sale. It's no longer on Steam, no longer at retail, no longer anywhere. You can't buy it right now. Everyone who already bought it and hasn't already returned it still has it, but you can't buy it until the further notice, and they haven't given a specific time when that's going to happen.
Yeah, the PC version had lots of bugs, lots of glitches, crashes. It wasn't
poor
working.
Optimization.
Yeah, the works.
Yeah, it received massive blowback. You've probably heard about it.
Yeah.
It was a bad situation. And so this is actually kind of a good move, like making the appropriate reactions from a bad situation on Rocksteady and Warner's part to pull it off of sale, because like they already made a big mistake, but every person who buys it after they know they made that mistake is just compounding that mistake.
Yeah.
So they at least stop the bleeding.
Yeah, it's a nice patch on the wound, but now they have to go into surgery and start digging inside to figure out what the hell went wrong.
But as we mentioned, like people are getting refunds in droves, and that just wasn't possible until very recently, when Steam just very recently announced that they were going to allow you to request refunds for any reason, and before that, like if you got your game and it just didn't perform very well, tough cookies. You were kind of stuck with it, except in rare situations where they would make exceptions. But now, like, the consumers have a lot more power thanks to this. And credit where it's due, Origin was actually doing this earlier. But Steam is the big daddy of digital distribution on PC, and where Steam goes, others will follow. Even if others were doing it first. But they kind of set the standard. If Origin's giving a few refunds, it doesn't really matter to publishers. If Steam's giving refunds, that's a big thing. Yeah,
definitely numbers matter, and those are probably a lot of numbers the publisher was seeing when say, okay, these are really bad. We need to do something, and a patch is not going to fix it.
Yeah, that's it. To me, it's really telling that they didn't look at this and say we're going to do like a hold on, we're going to do some patches, just sit tight. No, they're like sorry, like this thing is a total mess. We're going to just have a do-over, basically.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I've never seen that happen before with a major game.
Yeah.
And it's something that we might see more of. Like if hopefully we don't see more of, because that would mean a disastrous launch of another game.
Yeah, the day one patch whole finagle has been a blessing and a curse for living in a time where you can then patch a game if it has problems post-release. But then we have seen a lot of games recently, like Assassin's Creed Unity, where it comes out and it's not quite up to par, so they have to fix it. And then we get Arkham Knight, where it's unpatchable. And I really hope that publishers take a look and say, okay, we need to maybe take better time. If it has to be delayed, I'd rather they would delay it than have to go, okay, it's broken, we'll try and fix it.
Yeah, and that's something that Rockstar has done with GTA 5. Like, they delayed it a lot, but when it came out, it was in pretty good shape. I mean, there were some embarrassing issues with it, but they fixed them relatively quickly, and it was overall a very good performance on GTA 5.
And Arkham Knight's been delayed since last year.
Yep.
It was supposed to be an October, November kind of game, and then it's been delayed till now. And I would have rather waited a couple more months for a really good PC game instead of this really bad first impression.
That's at least up to the standard that we've come to expect from the Arkham series. I mean, they've had their technical warts as well, but I mean they haven't been quite as bad as this one. And like there have been, don't get me wrong, there have been other worse ports. Dark Souls comes to mind.
Oh yeah,
that game had was 720p scaled up, no key binding, locked at 30 frames. Like I think if we'd had Steam refunds then, we would have seen this a lot sooner.
Even maybe for Unity, something like that. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Steam refunds will change going forward, how games are handled when they release.
And there's a potential chilling effect here where publishers could look at situations like this, at what could happen if they don't do a really good job with a PC port, and say, oh, well, we're just not going to do it. Which, on the one hand, would be not so great in that we wouldn't get PC versions, but at least we wouldn't have like broken games out there.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen.
In some cases, it's better to have nothing than something broken and that gives PC gaming a bad name.
That's true.
So that's what we think about Arkham Knight being pulled off sale. For much more on Batman, please stick with IGN.